Terrible. How's everyone doing today? Let's... Okay, a little bit of a delay there, but we'll roll with it. Mac, Gibbs, Sora, Robert, Jay, Stuka, Alpatron, Apophis, Steel, Dan, Findan, Tim, how's it going? Sora with the casual membership, very much appreciated. Hello, Supreme Leader Spencer. Oh no. Cooper, Toxent, how's it going? I am alive. Marker Chief, Spider, I'm echoing. Are you guys hearing me echo? I don't hear it when I just unmuted and listened right there, so... Is anyone else hearing me echo? Sorry, you might just have to refresh your window. West Ham, how's it going? Yeah, so just refresh your window. Make sure you don't have another tab open with the stream as well. Okay, so let's hop into things here. So let's go here. Yeah, again, I listened. I don't hear that echo, so let's get that out of the way. Echo is probably your voice misfiring or rubber banding. Terrible, champs. Andy, how's it going? Picard. Yes. See? Wait, people don't have 4 windows open to watch the stream? I know, terrible. We gotta boost all the metrics. So first thing I need to do here is just get my daily out of the way. So I'm gonna just start off by doing a first contact day event. I am gonna go to a different character, one that has like no gear on it, just so I can get some easy dilithium over there. Him switching from AI to real life, terrible. Okay. But yeah, the objective for the stream today is I want to go through, just get some performance testing done with the consoles that were just fixed. Sora, thank you for the sub over on the Twitch. Very much appreciated. War crime time? Oh no. Jay, thank you. Thank you there for the 7th month. Very much appreciated. Bridger. RIP servers. West Ham. Guys, if you're running into server performance issues, I think at this point, you know, we saw them address the console issues, but I think we need to get a lot more attention going on the server side of things. So, like, if you're playing on console, PC, you know, whatever content you're doing, if you are experiencing some severe rubber band, I think it'd be great if we, you know, just all start documenting that, get some footage up, you know, just upload your really laggy experience to YouTube, post it to the Stowe, the various platforms Stowe's talked about on, like the subreddit, the forums, and so on. You know, I think we really need to get them to focus on that, because the console fixes, I'm happy to see them, but the issue is that if the servers remain bad, then it just, none of it matters, right? Mara, how's it going?
You found a stabilizer part. Take it back to your workstation.
Dark Ghost. The Pakled console does some crazy damage. It also has a really interesting visual. I'm going to put up a short probably tomorrow with the visual of it, but it's a really neat grappling hook. Lag is all you have left to blame for your poor performance.
You found a hull part. Take it back to your workstation.
They haven't addressed the console with the Obina, or the Obina console, yeah.
Discovered.
So my theory is, you know, when it comes to like consoles not working with Uncon, that was probably like something really, really stupidly simple for them to resolve. And I think most of the other issues there probably take a bit more effort. I would imagine, something not working with Uncon is the console just not being flagged correctly or something, would be my guess.
You found an engine part. Take it back to your workstation.
So that was probably an easy fix,
One of the
and
parts has given
the
you
other
quite
stuff,
a
like the
shock.
Obina console interacting funky with other consoles, I could see that taking a bit more work.
Looks like an extra part got separated from the pile.
Bridger, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Very much appreciated. Archmagos, how's it going? You so rested, been doing some low stakes practice runs. Getting cloaking into my tempo for the Kiith trait. Yeah, it's... I did some runs the other day, and
Forest fires have been
the
reported
only
in the
good
area.
run I didn't end up
Responders arriving
recording,
soon.
but it was like
Be
2-4
careful.
with the Arc Royal. Mighty Archimedes, how's it going? S-Trek.
You found a stabilizer
Indeed.
part.
Thank you,
Take
Bridger.
it back to your workstation.
Walking uphill to the
Parts
servers
at your workbench have caught fire.
both
Go
ways
back
is
and put it
faster.
out.
Terrible. Long Fox, thank you for the Prime sub. Very much appreciated. X Merton, how's it going? Yeah, there's the define emote. I need to get some more ship emotes in there. Managed to grab the Terran Eagle because of the discounts. Yeah, there is currently a ship sale on PC. It's not worth it for bundles, but if you are just looking for a ship standalone, then 20% is pretty good. No, I'm testing the console performance
This
from
hull part
the
isn't
things that
useful.
were recently
Keep
fixed.
searching.
I don't have a fire extinguisher, so we'll just let that burn. Oh, the Terran Engel, yeah. I think the first time I read that, I read the Eagle. Axel,
You found a
what
hull
is
part.
the...
Take it back to your workstation.
What are the exchange rates on PC? So most lockbox ships tend to sit between 1.2 to 1.5 billion. Promo ships, it depends on the time, but sometimes promos will be at 1.5, maybe just a smidge under, but most of the time they're posted or they hold a value higher than 1.5, so they only get sold via like trade channels. Man, you picked up the Titan for opening salvo? Pakled strong, yeah. Yeah, I've got enough. I'm just gonna head back. Reddit is never wrong. Oh no. I missed what Chiap said about Reddit. Is the Garrett console worth putting on a pet build now that it's fixed? From what I've seen so far, yes. And I have had a lot of people asking about carrier builds. So next Saturday, we're doing a carrier build stream. I might have the build set up prior to the stream, but at a minimum, basically just going to be focused on, just using a very strong carrier platform. Probably something like the Friendship, which I know is really popular. You're considering the Garrett in your normal mix over SIF conduits. The issue is I've already dropped SIF conduits. I don't want to do the full 150 pet spam that you're doing, Gibbs. I want to go with something a little bit more traditional. Oh, Dan, thank you for the bits. Very much appreciated. I mean, I've got most of the carrier stuff, and I have a general understanding of what I need to do to put it together. It's just I haven't really had much motivation to, but I keep seeing a lot of people ask about it, so it's something different. The only thing is yeah, that's a really expensive playstyle, and I know there's going to be people upset because it's going to take advantage of Uncon because there's all these consoles nowadays that buff up hanger pets, and yeah, the more you use those consoles, the better your pets do. Matt, thank you for watching. Glad to help. Yeah, I am running broadside. Pakled highlighted. Oh no. Dan, again, thank you for all the bits. Very much appreciated. Will we be getting a Delta recruitment event soon? I'm surprised one hasn't already started, to be honest. I expect it to start up at any point. Have they fixed the issue with the Shangri-La trait? Not that I've seen. Yeah, I would expect the Delta recruitment to pop up still sometime in the next couple of weeks. I expected it to have already started, but um, some of the other stuff that they normally have going on in April seems to have been pushed to May. For instance, as I mentioned in the last news video, the lifetime sale, which we typically would have seen start up earlier this month, Suna responded to me when I asked when it was going to happen, and Suna did say that the next lifetime sale is going to start up next month. So if some of the events got pushed back a little bit, some of the events and sales, Delta may just not happen until May. No fix yet for the Abina, no. Is the Pakled trait any kind of good? It's 15% Cat 1 damage, and that the damage buff isn't really that strong. That's less than half of what attack console or like an Isomag would provide. The power buffs are the main benefit to it. Plus 15 power and then max power to each subsystem. That can be pretty strong in some situations, but the issue is if you have the budget to get the Pakled, that's a promotional ship. It's going to be probably a couple $100. If you're at that point, you have access cost-wise to the other really strong traits in the game. So the issue with the Pakled is the trait. It's above average. It's on the higher end of the spectrum due to the power buffs, I'd say, but it's not quite good enough to be in like that top 7 category. Commander or Counselor Suna is the new Decade community manager. Yeah. Yeah, Sora. I also asked about that because I know many people want to get some of the older Muds bundles. I still am contemplating picking up Disco Inferno. But yeah, it's just waiting for news. Oh, you're just blinded by Uncon, man. How dare you use it because I don't like it. I have seen it is wild how many complaints there are about Uncon, but I understand why those complaints are happening. Uncon itself is an expensive trait, though I would argue that if you regularly play the game, getting 50 to 60 million EC is not an unachievable task. People were doing that 15 years ago, free to play in the game. So that is definitely still, easy to do, or it's not easy. It's going to take a bit of time, but it is easily achievable to get 50 mil. It just takes time. The real cost is getting all the consoles to use with it. And that point of view, I understand why people would be frustrated with it. Yeah, that's still gonna happen, Gibbs. Okay. A Carrier Odyssey? Yeah. The Amari's in game. Oh, you want the Muds bundle? When will the Pavo event start on console? Probably right after First Contact. I think for after First Contact, console will get the Pavo event, and PC will get the Tholian event here. I think there should be a buff to the Dill detonator charge. It's only as strong as a Maelstrom. I forgot to include that in there too, but the Maelstroms are actually really busted right now. Maelstrom, since I think like January, has been getting cooldown reduction from concentrate firepower when it never used to. Just out of nowhere, it started being affected by CF. 5 KDF farming, Contra easy gets you 50 mil in a week to max. Yeah, like even on like my when I did the free to play EC grind challenge a couple years ago, I never published it because the method I used was unreplicatable. But getting to 50 mil would have taken just a couple days. Mia, how's it going? Yeah, it's like getting 50 mils. 50 mils literally just a matter of time. Okay. So, yeah, I've been using the broadside console instead of Sif Mara. And then I forget what else I dropped here. Oh, I had the Shangri-La console on, but I dropped that. Right now I was trying to PB AoE, but let's try the Garrett console. Coordinated engagement solution. So the way that I've been testing these consoles is I will typically do solo runs with them, and then I'll leave the map before the TFO finishes. And then that's just a replicatable way for me to test things. Like I'll go up to the gate, take the gate out, and then that's it. Johnny, Steven, how's it going? Would the Valkyrie fighters be better since they have torpedoes? The Valkyrie fighters are pretty good. Yeah, Dan. Yeah, I need to. I've talked about it, and I've got a lot of videos I need to get done that I've talked about doing. But EC generation guides, those definitely need a bit of an update. Okay, so let's. I typically do these solo, but let's go in here. I'm gonna run the Garrett console first, and I'm gonna stick to my guns and do this solo. Okay. I'm gonna go into this ISC solo and just see how the Garrett console goes. John, how's it going? Mark II Chief. How good battery DOFs are needs a bit of an update. You just need 3 pets within 5 kilometers at activation. The trible's been busted for a couple weeks. I've mentioned it to people. Does the Pakled traits power buff scale with Ox and increase EPG like the SMAGs do for weapons power? Yeah, I mean it's giving you max Ox power and yeah, some Ox power, so that would help with scaling up your Ox ability or scaling up your exotics and anything else that works off Ox. Do I use DPRM? DPRM is still a great console. It still gets used all the time. William?
The situation is grim. There's begin by
Yeah, DPRM is still really strong. Yeah, but the Valkyrie fighters are really good. The Elite Valors, I mispronounce them all the time. Those do pretty well also.
From this time forward, your culture will adapt to service ours.
I mispronounce a lot of things. Cannon scatter volume misfired. The thing that sucks about CSV misfiring is right at the start like that's immediately just leave. Like, as soon as you see the CSV misfire in a solo, you just get the hell out of there. Because the run's already not worth continuing. Let's see here. The dog is going crazy, so... Oh, Amazon package at the door. Rare Tardoos are still really good. The Elite Valks are good. The Valors from the Heritage Bundle are also good. Do I always use 2 Elite Type 7s? Yeah, pretty much. Just because the debuff, and honestly, the best way to use the Type 7s is not exactly what I'm doing right now, but stagger their launches. So the issue with the Type 7s is the cooldown. The way that they're balanced is that their cooldown on their abilities, their debuffs, is rather long. So if you can get one bay that is out and then 15-20 seconds later launch the other bay, have it start debuffing at a bit of a delayed time, yeah, that can work pretty well. Yeah, Ginger Us, I'm not sure if it's actually shutting off or if that's just like a visual thing, because sometimes other toggles will turn off as well. Hold on, let me see. Yeah. Yeah, and what sucks here is if you're doing like a solo and you're trying to get a consistent testing environment, you want all your cooldowns to be ready again. So when you're doing these solo runs and then you get a CSV misfire right off the bat, you got to leave the map and then you're waiting minutes for your abilities to come back up. But I'm not gonna wait for TAC and Intel team. I'm gonna hop back in now. Yeah, as long as it's on your buff bar, they're on. Indeed, Bughole. They responded on Blue Sky about it. And I want to thank Thomas for suggesting. Well, I had talked about making a video a while back, and Thomas was in the stream and was like, "Yeah, you should do it." And that little bit of motivation there helped motivate me to actually get that video done, and it seems to have paid off. Thank you to Thomas. Do I have any recommendations for quick farming unrefined Dylan alts that don't really have much equipment? I mean, right now, take advantage of this event. Do your daily of the first contact day over on one of your other characters. I already have messed this up.
Scanning the nanite transfer. Got additional data.
I already messed this run up. I got distracted. That's bad.
The nanite probe repair the transmitters. Stop them.
At least CSV didn't misfire this time. Fortunately, I just happened to have messed up my timings there. Nova, yeah, I saw that, thank you.
Destroy it.
Yeah, this run's a bit rough. Okay. I mean, the Garrett console... With the Garrett console, it's not doing damage itself. It's just buffing up your damage, so... when it comes to the performance of that, especially if you're on a ship with hangar pets, that console's probably going to be worth slotting. Plus, the passive on it does trip a lot of people up because it says it is only for 20 seconds, but it's just constantly reapplying. So the passive on it's always up. It just is weird how they have it formatted in the tooltip. Does it matter if Type 7 is in attack mode? No, but that is a good point, especially for the Garrett console, to have one of them in escort mode to be close to you. That's a really good point. What ability is putting the big yellow square around targets like the cube at the start of the run? That was probably the Garrett console. So yeah, right now I've got the Garrett console on. Let me get this zoomed in for you. So the Garrett console, this is a pretty strong console if you manage to pick the Garrett up from the anniversary event. Again, this passive here, that's on all the time. This 420-second part, literally just ignore it. I don't know why it's there, but it's a constant buff for your pets. The clicky here is that mark on target, and it scales up based on you having allies around you, and the allies would include your hanger pets. So, you know, that's going to be up to 50% cat to all damage. That's almost as much as alpha. Then you've got plus 100, up to 100 resistance, up to 50 drain X, 50 control X. Like this is a really good console, and the fact that it now works with Uncon and you can start reducing its cooldown right away, that's pretty good. Chris, typically no, unless they specify that they do. What kind of DPS do you need to be doing to do this TFO solo? For Infected, you're looking at, what is it, like... It's around, I think, like 550k, was it? Because you have to have, like, 550k to get through the starting phase, I think is how it is. Yeah, the Obina console is still bugged, Britsurfer. They haven't done anything yet. How is the weather there? I mean, right now it's nice and cool. It's 50 degrees out. I've got the windows open, fans on. We did have some storms roll through the past couple of nights, but nothing today. Let me see, did I miss anything else? Yeah, you need at least 550k to get through the start. Take the bribe in my mail? Oh no. Oh no. A Delta Alliance off pack to gamble with? That's very, very kind of you. Okay, here we go. Not lucky today. Thank you, Mac. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, the Garrett console, when it comes to its performance, because it's not doing damage, I can't, you know, tell you exactly how much it's doing against other consoles. But the buffs this has, like, this is comparable, like, the Garrett console is comparable to DPRM, Adaptive Emergency Systems. You're getting a damage buff, you're getting survivability buffs via the resistance, then you've got Drain X and Control X, and it scales up based on you having pets or allies within 5 kilometers of you when you activate it. So, yeah, I mean, the Garrett console coordinated engagement solution, if you've got it, definitely go ahead and slot it. Okay, so the next console I want to do a run with here. Let's see here. The Hirogen Predator's Field of Prey. What did this do again? I'm not even going to take that one in because it's... So what it does is... Let me zoom in on it for you guys. What Field of Prey does, which is from the Hirogen Predator, this is one of the consoles that just got fixed, Creates a 5-kilometer point-blank area of effect for 15 seconds. Placates foes for 2 seconds within. Refreshed while within 5 kilometers while this is active. Decreases your threat gen by 74%. Destroys enemy mines, turrets, and torpedoes. 20% chance to destroy enemy fighters and shuttles. And then it gives you an ambush damage buff after 15 seconds. So, like, that's... if you're looking for something that is going to decrease your threat gen, destroy mines, and like Corfez, that'd be really helpful for Corfez, then this console is going to be really interesting to you. How can you tell if CSV misfired? You'll see that it's still lit up on your tray, but there's like a timer just going down in front of it. Mark to Chief, I have no idea. Oh, Gibbs. Gibbs with some more promo packs. Thank you, thank you. Okay. We got more gambling here. Oh. Unfortunate. Thank you, Gibbs. Yeah, the Hirogen Predator console does just have a minute cooldown, which is really nice. So you can spam it and have very high uptime on it. Same for the Kiith console, which is actually the one I want to test next here. So the Kiith is, as soon as I find it here, Chronoton Flicker. So Chronoton Flicker, let me get you guys the picture for that. Michael, how's it going? So the ability cooldowns, this is only for TAC and Intel, it's not for everything, so just keep that in mind. But the clicky here it's a 5-kilometer AoE damage plus damage on enemy weapon discharge. So when your enemy shoots, they do damage to themselves. 74 is inverse 47. I don't know. I don't know why that console did 74. But let's try Chronoton Flicker out in a quick solo run and just see how it does. Where is it? In DPS channel runs, it's been averaging mid 30Ks for you since the fix. That's not quite good enough to use.
The situation is grim.
Vote to kick will never happen. They were asked about that years and years ago, and that's just never gonna happen in this game. Ultimately, the response to that is if you want to control who you're bringing into the TFO or who's in there with you, then you just form one on your own. You know, use like the DPS channels for that. Not the answer you're probably hoping for, but that's just what you're gonna have to deal with. Or a little bit better. I'm gonna die here, aren't I? Die. I was gonna die right there. That left side just went super slow for me. Yeah, the thing with Chronoton Flicker too is you want to definitely be using it against foes that are actually shooting, because it does more damage against foes that shoot. I've messed up my positioning hard on this one. Yeah, that was almost about to finish on me. But let's see here. What did Chronoton Flicker do when I was pretty much just spam barring it? What's the main DPS channels now? I mean, Elites and Prime are still a thing, but I know there's a lot that also use like Diamond still. Okay. Let's see here. Chronoton Flicker, 43k. So yeah, Gibbs, you were saying like 30k. 43k from a console in this environment is it's okay to me, but like I wouldn't run this on my normal setup. And you know, based on that, alongside what Gibbs was saying there, the Chronoton Flicker from the Kiith, it's an interesting concept, and I think if you use it on targets, like really big targets that are doing a lot to you and your team, that are shooting a lot, then that console's going to excel. But in a situation like what I just demonstrated, where I was using it against some targets that weren't even shooting back at me, it's not going to do as great. So it's definitely something you want to time correctly. Now, here's the one that some of you are probably hoping to see, the Pakled technological space hook. So this does have a really neat animation too, which I want to get a short put together for it. It's got a nice grapple hook that'll shoot out of your ship at a target. I've already tested it in Universal and Engineering console slots, but I have not tested it on this build in Science and Tactical, so that's what I want to do next. 10k is active to an extent. You need to position to do DPS? Yeah, I know. Yeah, so the thing is with that, let me pull my window back up here. Okay. So if we look back, oh, my trays, my ability bar is covered by chat, rip. That's unfortunate. Sometimes when, even though it's showing that it's not highlighted over here, when you look at your buff bar, it'll still be listed. But I'm just realizing right now that I have chat covering that for you guys, so you can't actually see that. Unfortunate. Watts, how's it going? Yeah, Delta promos are the best to go for. So from the testing I've done so far with the Pakled console, I can pull that up here. Chronoton Flicker did okay, but it's not doing enough that I would slot it on my normal builds. Now, as for the Pakled, when I tested it yesterday or the day before, it was doing right around 50k for me in this environment on my arc rail. And it actually did less when it was in the engineering slot doing plasma than it was when I had it in the kinetic slot, or universal to get the kinetic version. And yeah. So far, the best slot that I've seen to put this in was kinetic for me. Now, the reason it's that the kinetic is doing better than plasma is because even though I'm using the plasma setup, I don't actually have any plasma specific buffs on. Everything is plus all damage. So, yeah. Kenobi, how's it going? If you're using the Garrett console, you really want to be using ships that have a hangar base so that you're able to get the maximum buffs from it. Okay. I'm going to go back in and we're going to do the Pakled console in a tac slot, which means it scales with weapon power. I have boring ship names. I do that because I have too many ships, and it's much easier for me to find them when they're the name of the ship.
Situation is grim. All attempt
I used to do a lot of funny ship names, but it just got to a point where I needed to make things easier for myself. So I don't know how visible this is going to be just because of all the other stuff going on, but this is testing the Pakled console now. Just staying in the same environment.
You will become one with the Borg.
scanning the nanite transformer. Done. Additional exit available.
A really strong opening there.
The nanite drones prepare the transformer. Stop them. The probe is closing in on the transformer.
Yeah, the opening was really good, but then everything's just falling off the fence.
The probe is closing in on the transformer. Destroy it.
Terrible day now. Yeah, this run started so well, and then it just fell off. But let's take a look at the console numbers there. When will the 1701 be? And I don't know when the next bundle sale is gonna happen. Wildwood, the 11th anniversary bundle. That's one you definitely want to wait for a 35% bundle sale to get. If you're going for the 11th anniversary bundle, though, you know that's like $150 bundle, so just be aware of that. If you're talking about some of the other variants, I mean there is B and C variant, you know, just standalone in the store, but they're not as good as the legendary versions. Okay, so the phaser version of that console, where did it go? 38K. So the phaser one did even worse for me. Yeah, there will be a Delta recruit this year. I'm surprised it hasn't started, but I would expect it'll probably happen next in the next couple of weeks.
The situation.
Okay, one more slot to test the Pakled in. But so far the best slot for it for me has been in a universal console slot. And I gotta find where adaptive just went on my tray. Ranger, how's it going? Yeah, but so far, I mean, the Pakled, I'm just not seeing it do enough damage that I'd slot it, to be honest, so far. So with the Pakled console, let me zoom in on it here. The Pakled console does different things based on which slot you have it in. So when it's in a tack slot, it does phaser damage and it scales with weapon power. When it's in an engineering slot, it does plasma damage and scales up with engine power. When it's in a science slot, it does anti-proton, scales up with shield power and the EPG exotic particle gen skill. And then in a universal slot, it does kinetic damage and scales up with aux power. You just toss them in a bank, Gibbs. So yeah, the slot that you have the Pakled console in changes the damage it does and how it scales. And yes, kinetic is the best so far. Kinetic damage, best damage, terrible. I can't say these things with Ranger around. But definitely, I mean, the best way to go about promo packs, especially Deltas, is you buy them during the sale, and you sit on them, toss them in the bank for a couple months, wait for supply to dry up, prices to go up on the exchange, and then take advantage. Yeah. Okay, so one more solo, and then we'll go on to some other content here. And this is testing the Pakled console in a science slot. Now, my shield power is pretty low, but we'll see how it goes. Terrible Ranger. Indeed, Elptron. Yeah, the different slot doing different things approach on consoles is really interesting. I wish we'd seen that with the, with the 15th anniversary bundle. Like, I think in the upcoming Captain's Table podcast, that's something where we were talking about how it sort of was a bit underwhelming that the 15th bundle didn't have that level of creativity on the system side. Also, before anyone asks, the Ridge console and the Scatter packs are still both terrible. Nothing's changed about those yet.
Scanning the nanite transformer. Done. Additional data available.
Too slow.
Is futile.
The nanite probe to repair the transformer. Stop them.
It's a really bad run, but we'll just keep rolling with it.
The probe is closing in on the transformer. Destroy it.
I mean, the thing is, though, these consoles with the doing different things, based on the slot, those didn't happen under Jonathan. These happened under the current team. Get away and get out of here. Yeah. Yeah, that was the worst by far. On a full EPG build, you might be able to get a bit more out of the Pakled, but for me, on just a more standard build, having it in a science slot, it did 20k. It did under half of what it did in each of the other slots. So if something doesn't activate on your tray, it misfires. So if something doesn't activate on your tray, it may be because you have another ability, still processing. There's some abilities that have a really long activation time. For instance, Dilithium Transporter Dispersal from the Credence. That console has a 2-second activation. Tachyon Netrons has a 2-second activation. When you have something with a long activation time, you can't hit other things until it's done. So sometimes that may be what you're seeing, but if you have an ability where you activate it it lights up and you just see like that it's on cooldown, but you don't see that it's active, then that's a misfire. To round it off, it also can't crit, so it is truly awful. Oh yeah, let's take a look here. Yeah, so it did under 20k, and this one is like 19 when I initially checked here. It was critting. I see 78% crit chance there. Am I looking at the right line? Yeah, it was right there. Did it in the run prior? Oh, the ridge system. Oh, okay. Yeah, the ridge system console just is just at this point just terrible. I really liked the anti-pack, not something to throw the meta out over. So yeah, the 15th pack is fine. It's like I said, it's not the best, not the worst. It's not going to make any top 10 list, but it's still, for the right player, it's good. Do the Vanguard Wingmen count as pets for coordinated engagement solution buff? They are those targetable? If they're targetable, they should. Nice, Wildwood. Yeah, you're doing the recruitment grind there. But yeah, ridge system is just awful. Yeah, then the Garrett console should work with the Vanguard Wingmen. Okay. So I guess what I need to show you guys next with that Pakled is the visuals of it. And the most appropriate way to demonstrate that is to be in the clump ship itself. Is there more testing on the Shangri-La? The Shangri-La console's really good, Ranger. The trait, though, was still bugged out last I looked at it. So that's clear for action. I can test that again right now real quick. Is clear for action still busted? Yes, it's still busted. And for the pack lid, I know there hasn't been much of anti-shield coverage on it, but this is with the platinum shield. Here is the bowl. And section 31. Houston. Okay. Gibbs, are you in game right now? Um, it's some freighter that starts with M. Hold on, I'm gonna show you guys the console visuals quick. Gibbs, just turn your weapons off. Just don't shoot me. I'm just gonna show the console. I'm gonna shoot Gibbs with the console that this ship has. No, it was Mondor or something. I'm not gonna do all the shields. I hit the start button. It just takes a while to load. David, how's it going? Is that ship worth getting? I don't believe the Pakled is worth the money. If you want to get it with your next event campaign in 2026, again, it's not going to be an option from the current event campaign, but it would be from future ones. You know, it'd be fine there, but it's absolutely not worth spending $200 to $300 on for a single character. It's a pretty it's a pretty mediocre ship. The main appeal is going to be from the art side of it and the accessories. Okay, Gibbs. I'm just going to hit you with the console here.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Oh no. Your obelisk swarmers are terrible. Okay. Here is the Pakled console.
Target's
It
shield.
actually shoots grappling hooks out of them, as you can see there. So I'm going to uncon and get that back up. I should do a demo record of this, so let me do that. Demo record. Pakled. Tractor beam. The Pakled console is surprisingly the most effective DPS wise of the four that now work with Uncon when it comes to just the raw damage, but I think the Garrett console is probably going to win out.
Ship is under attack.
Okay. Here we go again. So this shoots out a tractor beam and then it does the grappling hooks.
Target's shield has failed. 4 shields failing.
That does some damage and then it comes back to the ship. Okay, Gibbs, thank you for joining in there. Much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed being grappled. Let's take a look at that on demo. Where did demo launcher go? It's going to be right behind one of my windows. Oh no, it just didn't load. There we go. Yeah, we can do an ISC right after this. I'm just gonna... Yeah, you can fire while it's going on, yeah. Who doesn't enjoy being grappled by Spencer? Oh no. I don't know how to feel about that comment. So yeah, it starts off with a tractor beam. So it's a green tractor beam similar to what you'd see from like the old assimilated set. The Borg one. And then what it does is it shoots these grappling hooks out of the ship towards the target. It grabs onto them. Well, I mean, it's grabbed onto him and it's doing damage. The the visuals of where it's grappled are a little bit funky, but it's grabbed onto Gibbs there, and it's doing damage. And it's chained. It then also chained to some other of the nearby foes. So that is the console. Mondor. Okay, so yeah, this is the Mondor freighter right here. This is the beak of the clump ship. It starts off with the tractor beam, and then it launches the grappling hooks. So let me show that again. You know, from right here, this point of view. The grappling hooks, the visual effects there are a little bit funky, especially because you can use this on other ships. So these these ropes look a little funky. But it launches out there, it's done its grapple, and in this display of the demo record, they went to different locations. That's interesting, and you can see it chaining the damage there to the pets that launched out of Gibbs' ship. Yeah, it's an interesting effect. Lasts for just a couple seconds. Yeah, you can get away from being grappled. In a PvP environment, using any sort of placate that makes it so I can't target you, that will immediately stop it. Like, as soon as I lose visual on the target, it stops. Yeah, let's do some actual team content now. So let me swap back to the arc rail. Why do I keep using the arc rail? Because it's a really good ship. That's why. Does it stun ships or slow movement? It slows them down. Data, are you around? You took a bunch of notes down when we were testing this in PvP yesterday. What? That is an interesting question. Okay. So let's do infected, and I'll queue up a private. So if you want to join, I know Gibbs wants in. Drop your @handles over in the Discord here. So let me find that. Let's go here. Yeah, TFO priority in the CasualSAB Discord. Captain Rams wants in. Again, to see this channel, you just have to have your YouTube, Twitch, Patreon, whatever linked to Discord. And that is done in your settings under... Where is it here? Connections? Yeah. So it's under connections there. In your Discord settings, connections, link your account that you have a membership on, and then that'll give you channel to, or access to that channel in the Discord. So Captain Rams and Sora. Got room for one more. I don't know. Chadwick, this doesn't feel like a DARPA project. King Sarge, I already see you typing. There you go. There we go. This will be an infected conduit. We'll start off with that, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. Any ideas on what the summer ship might be? No idea. Terrible Ranger. Okay, is everyone ready? Good to go? Please be a Picard era ship. Hopefully. CasualSAB would be interesting on the your Kelvin. Yeah, it would be. I mean, we saw it in Beyond. Okay, I'm seeing. Good to go. Rams, King Sarge, you both good? Ready? Okay. Here we go. Ultra carrier time. Goodbye, targetable enemies.
The situation there.
This will be fun and exciting, smooth and wonderful. Oh no. Cheops, how you doing?
Scanning the nanite transfer. Gun. Additional data available.
Look at how much laggier this is compared to what with the solos. Oh, bad performance-wise. Look at that. Now compare this to the solos I was just doing. I mean, those solos weren't perfect. There was a couple misfires, sure, but like compared to this,
The nanite probe. Repair the trench. Stop that.
so another CSV misfire.
A probe is closing in on the transporter. Destroy it.
Where's the cube? Both sides are dead. Like, look at that difference. Like, okay, so I started doing a bunch of solo runs just to test the consoles out, and then I get into a team situation and like, look at how
Sensors confirm
bad
the
that
transport
is.
conduit has been
Like, how
destroyed.
bad that
However,
server
our scans of
performance
the starbase
just is. It's complete
disrupted.
garbage. Now, what I often will hear is it's just infected. That was the Star Trek Online servers and their capability to handle multiple players in the same map in 2025. No, Gibbs, you keep bringing that. You keep bringing that, Gibbs. Let's try some other content. Let's do a Corfez, right? I mean, the lag is just infected because everyone's running infected, right? That's what I always hear is everyone only does infected, so that's why infected lags. So let's do something different. I'm gonna try out that Hirogen Predator console because the Hirogen Predator console will decrease threat gen and destroy any enemy mines, turrets, and stuff near me. So I think that'd be a great console for Corfez. Now I'm going to just slap a science team on. And is everyone in the group ready to... Oh, we lost someone. Gibbs, I need you back in here. Get back in here, Gibbs. No leaving. No leaving allowed. I think the issue is the more calculations going on our builds, the worse things get. Okay. Oh, you swapped? Why can't I invite you? There you go. Is everyone in this group ready to do a Battle of Corfez? Don't worry, they won't fix the servers, but they will have a new ship out soon you can buy. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. No scope JFK. I've seen your comments on some of my recent controller reviews. I keep getting these controllers sent to me, and I might give some away at some point. But I've seen your comments. You're wondering when I'm going to start reviewing some other random things, like I think I saw health insurance pop up at one point. When are you going to review health insurance? Terrible. Okay, Corfez, Battle of Corfez Elite, public or not? I don't know why I said that. We're doing a private queue here. Already got the team ready. I hit the button. Now we're just waiting for it to load. Maybe a trait that takes advantage of the rubber banding. I mean, there are traits like that. The Krenum. What is it? One of the earlier Krenum ships has a trait on it. The Krenum Imperial warship that has a trait on it that will give you a buff based on you not hitting abilities. So for those that complain about Uncon, it's typically because they don't like hitting abilities or because of the cost. So for those that don't like it because of the amount of abilities you have to hit, that's a great trait. Oh no, Tim.
Vodwar ships have invaded the...
Find me some more batteries. Yeah, it's become a bit of a meme because of me doing the reviews for all the controllers. And then the monitor, people were like, what else you gonna review next? Abilities do not want to go there. Orange chicken. Had some yesterday. It's good. You look at that neck graph at the bottom right, you can see it like the spikes up there. I don't think I've done this TFO before. Does that Borg? Terrible.
Corvez 4 uses solar.
Watts, that is terrible. I also recently had some nice general soy chicken from Sam's.
Vodwar want to destroy that
pretty good.
station. Stop them.
Go. Did I ever try not using abilities in consoles to improve server stability? Terrible.
The Turay are sending a small task force to
Oh, we got Turay. How long has the Turay phase been broken this? I mean, I don't mind the challenge, don't get me wrong. But how long has it been broken? Let's split up a bit here. I'll just cover the stuff at the back here. Someone go up to the front of the map, and someone take the right side. Now, it was not always like this. But this is very much a more recent thing with this map. CSV misfire, worst possible time for that to happen. No! All my buffs are active and that just like nuked it. We can beat this. It's just a matter of taking out enough Vodwar in time. Did not mean to fly that far forward. A little bit of rubber band there. CSV misfired again. You can see how it's lit up, but there's a line going down it. Misfired again. No. I can't take out enemies if my stuff isn't activating. Finally a CSV. This is horrible performance. We're probably gonna fail it, to be honest, right now. Just because of how much's been going on. Delta Mech, thank you for the sub. Very much appreciated. We might have this. I think we have enough firepower to get through it. But that ability activation lag right there, just all that, the misfires, that did not make this easy at all. The consoles, I mean, the Garrett console's really good. The Pakled and the Kiith, they're situational. Like, the damage they can do is okay,
Hardwire back.
but they're not necessarily going to make it to a top tier list for, or to the top of the tier list for consoles. The Hirogen Predator, it's more of a survivability console, I'd say. So in the right situation, it can be pretty good, but it's just a matter of finding that right situation. But yeah, I'd say the Garrett console, if you have it and you're on a ship with at least one hangar bay, put it on. Like, it's a comparable to DPRM, adaptive immersion systems. It's really, really good.
Excellent.
There we go. The Hirogen Predator Field of Prey. In situations where you need to reduce your threat gen, if you have enemies that are spamming mines, like, it's really good for that. Very disappointed in the servers. Stupid. Yeah, well, that is the Stowe server experience. I'm just glad to let others experience how it can be. There was definitely a time period where the terrain were working correctly and coming in waves. Endeavor, how's it going? You just log off when I log on? What? Oh no. Now Triz is the one to worry about, okay? When Triz logs on, that's when you should worry. Why is that so big? I don't know who's on. I would imagine these were just like easy, like it's probably really easy given how quickly they were addressed to resolve. Probably just like one flag not done right or something. The other consoles, I don't know. You guys have probably seen I have a meme thumbnail. I have to find it. Those of you that have seen some of Triz's streams have definitely seen this. But we have an ongoing meme where we blame Triz for the server performance issues. I just gotta find this thumbnail. Here it is. Perfect. Let me pull it up on screen for you guys. Display capture. We did this for Triz a long time ago. You just clipped the server stuff for sending? Thank you, Mara. Yeah, so there was an ongoing meme for a while about how Triz has so many boxes in his inventory where whenever he'd be on, it's going to cause issues for the rest of us. So made this as a joke a while back. Or Triz. What about the other older consoles that don't work with Uncounter Voven? I don't know. I don't know what'll happen there. It's really just going to be a wait and see, I'd say. Needs a picture of his inventory open. Okay, Gibbs, you... Okay, you're still in here. We have room for one more. Who wants in for a TFO here? There's a very small 1% chance it won't be a Borg TFO. Ralph, how's it going? Urs, you want to go? Urs, what's your at handle? Is it the boxes or the 50 million Admiralty ships? Yeah, he does have quite the collection of the one-time use cards, doesn't he? Who wants to experience premium server performance? That is truly the question. Why is it not letting me just copy that? Thank you, Twitch. I have so many people in my friends list. I just... There's a lot of people, okay? A lot offline right now. There'd be a lot of people. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. With a meme build, oh no. Okay, what other premium content can we do here? Everyone loves Azure, right? We do Azure, or should we do something else? Hive? But I want to see Gibbs build in there in Hive. Let's see how that goes. I'm gonna do coordinate engagement in there. Let's see. Just weapons and no consoles, and see how that compares lag-wise. That would be a disappointing result. If you do that and then there's no performance issues, that'd be disappointing. Dual beam bank in Corfez. I mean, dual beam banks are fine. Storming the Spire, Days of Doom. Oh no. Hive Onslaught. We got this. Look at all these new ships in here. No, you don't apologize, Gibbs. You're doing what I need you to do. You keep doing your thing.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another.
It's not lagging. We don't have Cheops in here, that's why. If Cheops isn't in the match, then it's gonna be perfectly fine. Look at this, buttery smooth. Gibbs, are you everything okay? Are you hitting things? It's perfectly fine. See, everything's fine. There's no issues.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another.
There we go. Gibbs, what the hell? Did you not spam the pets? Where were they?
This is
Why was that smooth?
the end.
I bring you here to lag the map out, and you don't lag the map out. Delta? Yeah, I'm doing good.
I admire your
Thank you for the kind message. Yeah, there's lots more premium stow content incoming. I've got a couple video plans I'm looking forward to. There's some older videos I still need to get done, but I'm not gonna let those hold back some of the newer interesting ideas I've got. Gibbs, I could activate my abilities and they went off. You are failing me, Gibbs. You're supposed to be bringing in the ultra lag 200 entity like spam build, and you I just don't know how to feel. We gotta do something else. We gotta do some other premium content. It's just like, I'm so disappointed. Kiith. Yeah, Kiith is really fast, right? Kiith. The Hell with Honor, that's a great one. That's one of the best non-Borg TFOs in the game. I've never been so disappointed at things actually working. I didn't use my keybind. That thing should die from the dot. How much for an entire stream of non-Borg TFOs? I don't know. The rare footage of the game working correctly? I know. They're watching. They're watching and giving us the good servers. That's what it is. Well, happy birthday, Urs. Gameplay loop that's ever hanging. Omega, how's it going? Yeah, I mean, the board content is just, it's nice. There are other TFOs, I know. No, Gibbs, my ability's still activated. They just gotta flip the good server button all games have, that's the problem? Yeah. Okay, the Hell with Honor next. You also asked Cruz to fly the Constitution 3 for a stream, although you should give him your build for the old girl. They weren't working, and then all of a sudden they started working. Okay, to hell with honor. We're just spamming all the TFOs. Oh no, I hit the wrong difficulty. No! I can't cancel it. I can't kick anyone out. No. Now we gotta go in there, leave, and then I gotta re-invite everyone. I forgot to change the difficulty. I forgot to set the server to Wumbo. No counterpoint today. I hate counterpoint. Counterpoint's just such a boring TFO to me. I know that there's like a big group of people that just absolutely love that TFO. I just hate it. Yeah, I gotta just leave. Just leave this because it's on the wrong difficulty. I messed up.
To all true Klingon vessels and our loyal allies, heed my call to battle.
You don't like it? Okay. We've got room. We got room. Who wants to join for a to hell with honor elite? Got room for one more. Old Man and Rune, how's it going? Dan, okay. Dan, there you are. And here we go on the correct difficulty this time. So people that like counterpoint are the ones that sit there and pew pew while others who hate it do the objectives. That is like 100% true. 100%. They just want to sit there and shoot the Mir DS9 for like 8 minutes or whatever. Drew, how's it going? Yeah, I typically when I play the game, I've got the game sound muted. And I've got it set up here so I can mute it, and I don't hear it, but you guys can still hear it. Which is a nice quality of life change for me. You guys just have to let me know if the game sound is ever, you know, too loud or whatever. Yes. Single cannons under CSV will outperform dual beam banks under like FAW. How dare that thing slow me down. I didn't get high enough elevation-wise to not be caught by it. Okay, that one's done. Way too far here and overshot. Yeah, it's just the issue is Fire at Will got nerfed a long time ago, and ever since then, like, beams have fallen behind. Like, you can still get through all the content with them. There's so much power creep in the game, you know, you can get through anything with pretty much anything now, but yeah. Cannons and CSV just have the advantage because beams had their equivalent firing modes nuked into the ground several years ago. It's about the firing modes that they work with, and for cannons, the cannon schedule is just really good. That one done. Yeah, this hasn't been too bad performance-wise either, to be honest. I brought Gibbs in with the ultra lag build, and I had high expectations of getting some great footage of how great the servers are, but it ain't happening. Games are for tryhards? Terrible. I really like this TFO. Definitely, I would say this is my favorite non-Borg TFO. Pretty high praise for me. There we go. Yeah, that was really smooth. They're giving the team better server performance now. Yeah. To be fair, beams have their place. The bin? Oh no. Z. CasualSAB is trying to record how bad the servers are. Flip the switch, yeah. Space Barbie is the true meta. Oh, that broke the team. Hey, who wants in for some more content? Maybe the server numbers are caused by the insane DPS numbers? No, because there's people complaining about server performance issues nowadays in, like, story missions, patrols. Beam overload. Oh, no. First one's back in. Rams, did you want back in? Sora, okay, let's tag Sora back in on this one. Endeavor. Okay. We got a lot of people wanting in right now. Let's do something, something where we can get everyone in. Endeavor, what was your at handle again? Rams. Captain Rams. I'm like, why isn't that working? Why am I blanking on your at handle, Endeavor? Captain Lockhart. There you are. Okay. Maybe limit DPS per player? No. I'm gonna put Gibbs on his own team. We got room for 3 more. I mean, we could just start it with 7. I'll give it a couple seconds before I hit the button. Just got bounced out of the game. What did Gibbs ever do? Gibbs set up a ultra carrier build with 200 pets or whatever, and first round he lags the map out. Everything else, servers have been fine. I didn't notice any issues with Gibbs. I wasn't really paying much attention though. Okay, I'm going to start this up. Chris line only actually requires 7 people. It doesn't need 10. So we can do this. Now we just have to wait for it to load. Gibbs has posted his build on like the subreddit and a bunch of different places. I don't know if it's exactly 200, but it's a lot. Yeah, it's Builds Discord. Yeah, Gibbs has it posted. Got it posted everywhere. Reddit, the Facebook groups. Gibbs is everywhere. Everywhere where there's activity for the game, which means everywhere other than the official forums. Okay, we got this. Entity is really far away from us this time for some reason. I mean, there's some stuttering looking at the neck graph at the bottom right, but it's not. Oh, there it is. Look at that. There was a little bit of lag, but not anything as bad as that infected earlier. Oh, nope. I spoke too soon. If they upgraded the servers, could we support multiple 200 pet builds? I think that at that point it's just a matter of the game engine. Does the game engine support it, you know? No misfires. All I have to do was say I want it to be bad, and then it's been good. I can't believe it. Okay, let's cycle some people out. Sora, you were in the last infected, I believe, so I'm gonna take you and Rams out on this one. Endeavor, Gibbs, you both good to go? Nurse, Dan, everyone good? We all ready? Yep. Good to go? Okay. Here we go. I believe. Endeavor's always ready. Endeavor hasn't said anything, but I know he's ready. You tried to do the 20-person TFO a few weeks ago. The game said no. Kicked by Spencer the Shame.
Situation is grim.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a good idea. We should do that 20-player TFO. Synergize best with Endeavor.
Scanning the nanite trap. God, there's nothing that will.
Yeah, server performance so far is much better than the last one. It is like a switch was flipped.
The nanite probe will repair the trap. Tasha,
Not perfect. I could still see some stuttering over at the side, but oh, this is a really slow cross.
the probe is closing in on the trap. Destroy it.
It's like doing that, but I do what I gotta do. Graham, good evening from Scotland. How's the weather over there? Do capture and hold? No, I'm not interested in doing PvP. PvP scares me. Just out of curiosity, I want to see what the Kelvin console did for me here. Oscar? Point Blank did not do as well for me on this one. Oh no, it did. I mean, 67K compared to where my other consoles did. It did fine. I mean, that was a little bit laggy, but nowhere near as bad as the first one. Nice, Urs. Okay, everyone leave the TFO group. We're going to shift over to the Fed side and do some stuff over there. Thanks for the entertainment. David, I'm glad to provide entertainment for all of you. I'm going to swap over to a Fed. And Endeavor mentioned the 20-player fleet TFO. Let's do that. You just have to be on a Fed character. That's pretty much the only requirement. So swap on over to the Fed side. And what we are going to do here is that big 20-player Starbase fleet defense. Join the public queue for that. Public queue, Starbase fleet defense, that's 20 players. We have 34 on Twitch, 150 over on YouTube right now, so if you're in-game on the Fed side on PC, let's all queue up for Starbase Fleet Defense and get that going. That's a 20-player TFO. You have to be Fed, yeah. You can't be Klingon, you have to be Fed for this one. Or Fed aligned. We're on the builds. Server is the pet build. Gibbs, what channel do you... no, we have all of the... we have all of the builds in the same spot now. So yeah, public queue for Starbase Fleet Defense, just because it's 20 players. We need everyone to queue up for that. Yeah, if you want in on a 20-player TFO experience, it be there. You just gotta join up for that queue. On the builds Discord, Gibbs has it posted in the ship builds channel. Scroll down, it is just like 7 or 8 down there, and it is posted there. And there's updates in the thread. Yeah, the Garrett console, all 4 of the consoles are working properly with Uncon and Vovin. The Garrett console is really good. Especially if you're on a ship with hangar bays, you can easily get the maximum buff from that, and it is really good. The passive on it, the 20-second thing on the passive is I don't know why it's there. The buff should be up the entire time for the passive for the pet buff. Okay, we had a pop. Now the question is, will enough accept for it to go through? When can we have Disco Inferno and Muds again? Hopefully we don't have to wait too long for the next Muds sale. I think we'll probably have a non-bundle sale pop up next week. And then as for when the next Muds bundle sale will happen, I don't know. David? Intriguing? Map transfer failed. Is everyone else getting map transfer failed? Yeah, I'm stuck. Map transfer failed. Logging out back in. Every one of the fixes that should be resolving it isn't working. Relog did not fix it. Map transfer did not fix it. I'm going to ground. In WoWs, you torped the USS Iowa. Terrible. I haven't played warships in probably 2 months. Month and a half, 2 months. Yeah, I can see we have one person that managed to get in. I have left the team. I'm not on the team. If I rejoin that, does it autofill? Sometimes it'll... Yeah, it just didn't let most of us into the map. Good old Stow. I beam down and beam up. Nothing. Okay. Oh, it gave me accept. Yeah, chat log was filled with transfer failed. Yeah. I mean that is my chat right now, queuing with this. They're trying to queue for this TFO. I mean, it could be soloed. It's a normal difficulty queue from many years ago. It could be soloed. Try swap into another instance again. Yes. So it is It is just not working. Was going to try this with my fleet. Guess not. No enemies either. So for the people in the map, there's no enemies even in there. That's stupid. So it's not progressing because it hasn't loaded us in. I mean, my original main characters were on the Fed side. It's just in the past couple of years I swapped everything over to a KDF main. It just made more sense for what I do. They just spawned. Okay. That's really unfortunate. What a bit of a buzzkill right there, right? It'll get fixed on Tuesday. I'm gonna relog again and see what happens. Ugh, disappointing. Yeah, and it's to the game. I am in that TFO, even though it won't put me in the map. Well, it's only put one of the people from this team into that map. Mark the Chief. Mark the Chief. It's all on you. It's not gonna let us in. I can't even leave the team. About the Garrett console, the wiki mentions that hitting the clicky again will refresh the buff, but doesn't mention. So for the Garrett console, do I have it in front of me right now? Do I still have the picture? The buff is for 30 seconds. It can be reapplied by someone else hitting their console that is within range of you, and then you'd have it for 30 seconds upon their activation. But yeah, it's strictly for 30 seconds. The 20 seconds thing at the top here, that's on the passive. As far as I'm aware, that basically just shouldn't be there because this should be constantly up for the pets. But yeah, it's the clicky is just 30 seconds. Is the wiki not mentioning that? Okay, so Garrett. Um no, it says 30 seconds. Yeah, the description's right. Try bringing up the character sheet. Yeah, there's no crossplay. If you started on a different platform, you'd be starting over again. The lag is so bad, and I'm not in there to see it. That's why they're preventing me from getting the recording. There's lag in there, and I can't see it. I mean, I've done all the normal tricks. Opened the character sheet, swapped instances, all the normal tricks that you do to resolve the map transfer fail issue. They're not working. Operation complete. There we go. Now it's done. Now it's done. Let's do that again. Does it work? Public queue, Starbase Fleet Defense, attempt number 2. You have to be on a Fed. We're doing a public queue. Let's see if it works. What's my advice? I mean, Yan, it depends on how many characters you want that on. If you want it on multiple characters, then you get the D7 Merrick Worker from Disco Inferno in the Mud Store when that bundles back up. Like, as expensive as promo ships are, as soon as you want it for more than one character, or even in some cases, if you want it for just one character, then the Muds route can make more sense financially depending on how you were going to acquire it. It worked for you. You're on cooldown now. Well, we're on attempt number 2. So if you guys have Fed characters, let's queue up for Starbase Fleet Defense, public queue. Let's see if it works. The first attempt, most of us couldn't get in. Will the second attempt work? Yeah, I'm in the queue for it now. We have 30 on Twitch, 160 on YouTube. If any of you want to join in, oh, there it goes. Except, does it put me into the map? That is the big question. Or do I get 2 in a row where it just map transfer fails for 15 minutes? Normal's the only option. This is a piece of content from like the original days of the game. Pretty much, so things are limited in that regard. Oh. No! It's doing it again! No! Again? Have I verified the files recently? Yes. Still failed for you as well? Mike, how's it going? Let's just fully restart the game and see if that helps. I can verify the files quick. Yeah, Jen, it's a great console. Definitely from what I've seen, yeah. The values it provides, it's really good. I'm verifying the game files quick to see if that'll let me back in. Um Old Man Rune, I mean, at a budget level, you can craft it. If you want one for an energy buff, then you get one from the Fleet Research Lab. If you want one with a kinetic buff, then the Fleet Colony. But I mean, honestly, you can just craft one. If you just want control and exotic, you can just craft it. And then as for inhibiting versus deteriorating, that just depends on the abilities you're using on your ship and how quickly you're getting through content. Yeah, Colony's got the projectile ones. Almost there. I have Stow on the fastest of drives I've got, and yeah. Shouldn't take too much longer. Do I get into the map now? Nope. Nope. I do not get into the map. Oh, let me see if I re-queue it. Yeah, the server's saying no. It ain't gonna let me in. Nope. It didn't pop back up to let me in like last time. That's unfortunate. So to everyone in there, I guess enjoy the rest of that TFO. For whatever reason, Stowe literally just does not want me into that map. Tacitus, how's it going? Did I pay for internet? Yes, I have paid for my internet. How do you verify files in the STO launcher? Go to options, and then force verify, and then hit save, and that will verify your files. Okay. So thank you to everyone who joined in on that experiment. That is a bit demotivating. Let's do one more TFO to wrap things up for today. I'm going to swap over to casual, and I want to do an Azure Nebula Rescue Elite. Azure Nebula Rescue Elite, public queue. This is going to be the last TFO for today. Is my computer on? I'm just doing the public queue for this one. Just if you want in, public queue Azure Nebula. And I just want to see what the rewards end up being, because there's been a lot of complaints about this not giving the correct rewards, and it's been a while since I've run it. We'll be running it a lot here in the next week or two with the upcoming Filling event. But yeah, I want to see how the rewards are right now. There's the pop, so here we go. Is your computer on? Yes. Yes, the lights are on. The lights are on. I can see that it is using too much power. I wonder how many will quit when they see they're loading into Azure. I'm going to be rating SFC because the Stowiki has an event going on. So I'll be rating them here as soon as this is done. Gotta support the wiki, folks.
The Tholians have captured a number of Romulan. The stronger.
This is the Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah, Stoic, he's great. Come on, game. Give us a 5 right off the bat.
Our time here is limited. Stay focused,
2,
plan your attacks, and save as many ships as possible.
1.
Every loss is critical for my people.
No one's actually going to the 2 up in front. I'll get that one.
The Tholians are using their energy webs to trap your ships. Target and fire at the nodes connecting the webs. If you are caught inside the web, try to destroy one side of it. Avoid the last bit on it.
The red ball around my ship is the console off of the Kelvin Constitution 2. It basically just does damage to things within that ball. It does phaser damage. And it does more phaser damage the faster you're moving. This map is older than you, yeah. It be an old map.
A Delon warbird is escaping. A Talis warbird is escaping.
Let the broadside console get some work in. There we go. Love that console. They're all dead. You don't have to worry about the others. We just gotta get the track beams at this point. Okay, Urs, you finish this one up. I'm gonna head over to the next.
A Hapax warbird is escaping. A Delon warbird is escaping.
Go.
A
New
Hapax
readings on
warbird
sensors.
is escaping.
More Tholian ships are on the way here.
Yeah. Yeah, just getting the early suffering in. Exactly. Okay, that's done. Next up will be this one. Yes, good. We got Scimitar to save. Why did I use the Vovin console? Why did it teleport me the wrong direction? Version is suffering, yes. I dislike how slow this TFO is.
A Falchion dreadnought is escaping.
This is elite. This is as hard as this gets. there's the one over there, which I believe already has people at it. The big red ball is the Kelvin Constitution 2 console. This thing here? Yeah. It just has such a limited range. That's the only downside to it. It looks large, but it's 1 kilometer. Like, they have to be within 1 kilometer of you to take damage. A bit annoying with it. Ideally, the way that you want to do this TFO is you just station 1 person at each point, and then they just stay there. Like, especially like if you're getting a group together to just farm this on Elite, you basically just have 1 person at each rock, 1 person that can run around to help if needed. But like, it's just not really difficult. I don't know. BD, I don't know. No, it's the Kelvin Constitution 2 console. I tried the Hirogen one out earlier. The Hirogen one does like a blue ball around your ship. I'll show that one here. Yeah, so this here is the Hirogen one. It's a blue ball around your ship. It's nowhere near as impressive visually, but it is a larger range. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let the others scan that. I'm gonna head towards the 5. If it's still alive. Record it, NeoJet. Record it. Like, we need to get a lot more people complaining about the servers in other environments other than infected. Because if I put up anything complaining about server performance, people just automatically assume, oh, he's just, you know, whinging about performance in like infected. Or that I'm, you know, I'm talking about like performance at a very high level. Like, we need more people that are running into issues, especially in like story or just patrol gameplay, to get some video, show just how bad it is.
A Delon warbird is escaping.
Yeah.
A Hapax warbird is escaping.
What is the blue donut? The blue ball around the ship is the Hirogen console. This one here is the Vovin console that I just used. This blue ball around the ship, that is the Hirogen Predator console. And that'll like take out mines and small foes that are right around me.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Yeah.
Talis warbird is escaping.
No.
This warbird is escaping.
What's a decent substitute for the Obina console? I mean, that's a survivability console, so adaptive emergency systems, DPRM, like just the Garrett console even.
A Hapax warbird is escaping. A Delon warbird is escaping.
To see this, I know. A good fire at will extender would be very nice.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Valdor is in your chat. Yeah, kind of true. The only downside with Valdor is it primarily works well with AoE based builds. If you're doing like beam overload, rapid fire, surgical strikes, it's not going to be as effective. They just don't have as many outgoing shots.
This warbird is escaping.
That is pretty much it for this TFO. 30 seconds. There isn't really time to do much else other than wait. Now the question is, what do we get reward-wise from this? Open up that system chat. How many of these lovely marks do we get from this TFO? Because the issue is, this has been reported as not giving the correct rewards. Look at that. No marks. Only 480 dilithium, a normal Q R&D box, some XP, no marks at all. No marks. An elite TFO where we should have earned 150 marks that rewarded no marks at all. And this TFO has been broken since the last Tholian event, which was over a year ago. So the question is, after, you know, with the Tholian event incoming again, will they fix it or will it still be screwed? Yeah, so the rewards have been like that for a year. It's been a while since I've run it, so yeah, it's a bit disappointing. But that is all I had for you guys today. Again, started off testing the consoles, did a bunch of TFOs. It broke after they did the AFK fix. Yeah, so I mean that's a TFO that takes 10 minutes. You know, you spend 10 minutes in there, 10, 12 minutes, it doesn't give you any rewards, you're going to be annoyed. It wasn't fixed since it was remastered. I thought it was broken when it got remastered, then it got fixed, and then broke again. I thought that's what happened. I could be wrong. It could have just been broke the entire time. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Okay, on the Twitch side, I'm going to raid SFC from the Wiki team. Again, thank you to everyone who tuned in today. Next week, like I said earlier, I'm going to be doing a carrier build. So an actual pet-focused carrier build is going to be the focus of next Saturday's stream. So if you're looking for that carrier gameplay, then make sure to stop by. That should be happening right around the same time, 12 p.m. Central US time. Okay, raid is out over on the YouTube or on the Twitch. Again, thank you to everyone for tuning in today. I've got some other videos coming up here in the next couple days. Hopefully a members only video tomorrow, if I remember to get it fully recorded here in the next couple hours. But that is all I have for you guys today. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.